What's up, guys? I hope you're having a better day than me because I lost my laptop for a moment and I am also sick. If you hear that, then I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to sound normal. Um, this isn't the video I wanted to make. But yeah, I didn't have my laptop and I wanted to just record something to just be able to edit it later. So this is what we're making, and what we're making is a DIY choker. Uh, except it's very specific because you can buy chokers that look similarly, maybe even online, especially just a black choker with like the spikes. That's a very popular type of thing. But my brain is stupid and I just can't stand it when there is metal touching my skin. This is why when it comes to choker, I always either wear the true chokers because they are fully plastic, or like chokers that I've made because then I can use plastic elements to keep them together. And in this case, the studs, the spikes are metal, but I have a layer of ribbon in between the studs and my skin, and that feels okay. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I feel like even if your brain is not as stupid as my is, and you can wear the usual chokers fine and you don't complain, it would still feel nicer. So feel free to like look how I made it. When it comes to are you going to need, the basic things are like at least two thicknesses of a ribbon. In my case, I've got a thicker purple ribbon and a thinner black ribbon with like silver edges. The more like elements on it, the more detailed we look, I guess. And the spikes, the stats, and like thread needles. If you want to do this exact thing that I'm doing with the purple ribbon that you're going to see in a second, you will also need a machine and stuff like scissors. That's obvious. And now I'm going to show you how I do like these folds, because I figured how to get a camera angle to show what I'm actually doing, not just this weird thing that you're seeing right now. So as you can see, I've already like have it begun, but anyway, the basic gist of it is you stop your machine, you keep your needle like stabbed into the ribbon because you're sewing through the ribbon, and you take your foot up so that you can do stuff under there, and you pick a point. For me, this point is about like half a centimeter to a centimeter behind that silver part, and from that point you push the ribbon down to where your needle is. So you make a little fold. You can see I'm using a ruler to make it easier for myself, but you can do it with fingers. I've started that out with fingers and I just realized it's quicker when I use a ruler. And yeah, and you even it out so you're done making like weird movements to the sides with the ribbon, and you press the foot down and you sew right to the edge of it, but not over the edge of it because it looks better this way. If you like make one move too much, it's not a tragedy, it's not going to be super visible, but I prefer to stop right at the edge and not over the edge. And you just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you have as much of this like pleated ribbon as you want. But you can use something else if you don't want this particular look. I think it looks cute when it's layered like this, but and it can also be used to other things, not just the chokers. I've learned it especially for this project, but I think it would look cool for like, I don't know, sleeve finishing or like for skirts or other type of decoration on clothing, not just chokers, obviously. Now, one easy way to figure out how much of the ribbon you need is to just take it to your neck and cut a bit more because you're going to fold the edges and stuff. I'm showing this with the black ribbon and not with the purple one, because for the purple one I just compared it to an existing choker, because obviously it was like attached to the machine. I couldn't stop in the middle of it and just try it on. Um, and now when it comes to studs, obviously they have to be smaller than the ribbon that you're going to put them onto. Uh, Mine are just spikes because I ordered them online, but in stores, like in craft stores, I was only able to find like these pyramid shaped or round ones that are pretty flat. And these ones, aside from just not looking how I want them to, will also be too big because they're more wide than tall. But if you have them and if you want to use them, the way you use them is just that you pierce all the little spikes they have on the bottom through the ribbon, and then you bend them inside on the back so they stay in place. When it comes to my studs, I needed a screwdriver, and I just have to like pierce the backing through the ribbon where I wanted the spike to be, and then screw it in, and then screw it into the spike, so the spike would be on this side. It was possible to do it with fingers, but it's slippery, so I would hold on to the spike with my one hand, and then with the screwdriver just uh, use the other sides, especially that they do have like these little crosses on the back that are, for the screwdriver to work. And this took a bit of time, but in the end I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spikes, and I started out from the middle, not purposely to have one that is like perfectly in the middle, because I don't have one perfectly in the middle. It's just that near the edges, near the back, they're not as needed. So yeah, I don't have that many on my bag. Like the distance in between the last spikes and the closing is quite big. Uh, just for like safety. And yeah, but I think it looks really good. It just has to be spaced out like pretty evenly. Yay, and a throwback to another one of my sewing projects, which is the batwing bag. Because back then I also did not have a purple thread to use to sew on the bag. Right now I still don't have a purple thread because I didn't buy one, even though I was at a store where I could. I just didn't. But I have this thick thread that is like for embroidery or friendship bracelets. That is in almost the exact same shade of purple that my ribbon, so I figured I'd use that. Obviously I could just use black, but I thought this will give it like one more type of pattern, mm, and it would look cool. So I just, as you can see, unthreaded a bunch of it to have a thinner thread. This whole big thread is made out of like maybe 6 or 7 smaller threads, so I took out 2 and I used that too. So and now for the assembling of the 2 ribbons. Obviously if you have more layers, if you decided to have more layers than me, like maybe 3 or 4, you have to adjust this to your needs. Like maybe you want to attach them to each other like one by one, maybe you want to try all at once. Anyway, I decided to use like a ladder stitch. I'm going to show you like a picture of how that works because I'm not sure how visible it is from my video. And first I aligned my ribbons exactly how I wanted them, so that, you know, my spikes are at the right placement and the edges are what hangs out from both of the sides, and you know, and I used paper clips, like these small paper clips, to just keep it together. I didn't use pins, despite the fact that I could use pins for two reasons. Reason number one is that I didn't want to leave holes in the ribbons because it's quite visible. And reason number two is that I don't know where I put my pins, so I didn't have them anyway. So I use these paper clips to just like clip it together and, you know, hold it in place. And I started from one side and just went doing this ladder stitch, leaving this nice, like, you know, pattern with these parallel lines, parallel purple lines on the black ribbon, and having exactly like three lines in between each spike to give it this like illusion that my spikes are any way evenly spaced out, because I should have used the ruler to put the spikes, but I wanted to be fast and quick and, yeah, careless. I still think it looks good. It just doesn't look like machine manufactured. Unlike the ribbon, which I think, unlike the purple ribbon, which I think I made perfectly. Also, I didn't even have a purple thread for the purple ribbon, so for the bottom thread I used a blue one, and for the top one I used the pink one, and it's not really visible, so, you know, if it's covered, you don't have to care for what type of thread you're using, or if it's not that covered, and but it's not that important either, you can also just use anything that you find close enough. You know, you don't have to have a perfect color match. But here I purposefully chose a quite thick thread to do this, because I wanted it to be visible, because I thought it will give me a nice additional pattern. And here it is. And finally, at the end, there was the time to, you know, put the little closings on it, and I actually think in this way my choker is way superior to what you're going to buy in store, because I use this little like plastic closings that you have to like press on both sides to open, and then you put one in to close it. I'm sorry if you can hear it, I'm playing it with it right now while recording to like describe them, because I bought them in like a craft store years ago, and I don't remember like what I bought them for. They're not made for making jewelry. I just thought they will work here, and they work really, really well. Um, they are very, very strong, because, you know, it's easy to rip the little like chains that are on most jewelry you're going to buy. Like to rip this little metal opening that there are there, but this is like super strong. This is not made for jewelry. I don't remember what this is made for, but this could probably hold some weight to it. So yeah. Mm. And you can't see it, but off camera I'm trying it on myself while doing it to make sure like the size is right. I think I could have made it a little tighter, because it would then be like sit a little higher on my neck. It sits quite low, but it's good. It's good. I'm not going to complain about like having it like 4 millimeters too big, you know. I think it's good as it is. And here it is on me. As you can see, there is nothing unpleasant touching my skin. So, you know, one of the goals is here. I've got a spiky choker now, so the other goal achieved. Uh, Obviously, if you want to recreate it and you have the right tools, that would be awesome. I hope I was helpful in any way. And if you have any more like advice, comments on how it looks, maybe requests, you can leave it in the comment section down below. I would love it. And for now, just stay safe, stay hydrated, and peace.